At just 9 years old, Emma Roberts made her silver screen debut in the 2001 hit movie Blow, playing the daughter of Johnny Depp and Penelope Cruz. What a way to start,
No kidding. And her star has been shining ever since as the niece of Julia Roberts and daughter of Eric Roberts. It's no wonder Emma's talent is endless. Not only has she landed a record deal, but Emma has had 5 films come out this year, including her latest. It's kind of a funny story, it's called.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you guys too.
Did you go to school at all? Because how did you do 5 movies in 1 year?
I graduated high school. I got my diploma and I applied to college, but I deferred until next fall. So hopefully,
you only have 10 movies coming out then.
Yeah, hopefully I'll be on this coast by next year.
Is that what you want to do?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Tell us about this movie. It's called It's Kind of a Funny Story, and it's a dark comedy.
It is. No, it's a dark comedy. That's how I describe it. It is actually kind of a funny story.
Yeah.
And it's this boy is having really depressed thoughts and doesn't know what to do. He checks himself into a psychiatric hospital and he meets all these just really interesting characters and develops these relationships with them. And it's a really inspiring story, I feel like.
But once he gets in there, he kind of wants to get out, and it's too late, right?
It's too late. He has to stay there for 5 days, but I think he has an amazing experience, and it's a great movie. I mean, I loved it. I love the soundtrack. I love the movie. I think it's really fun.
And you cut yourself in this movie. You're a cutter.
I'm a cutter.
You're a
self-mutilator.
Self-mutilator. So you had to wear what? Kind of just
I had
scars?
prosthetic scars on my face, and it was really interesting because I actually wore them home a couple days, just not really wanting to stay after work and take them off. But it really helped me get into character to kind of see that people really stare at you. It's so crazy that people will actually just be like.
Did anybody ask you about them?
Yeah. A couple people were like, "Oh, are you okay?" And I'd go, "Oh, what?" So it kind of helped get into character. It was an interesting thing to go do.
And could you connect it? I mean, you're a teenager, and the girl you're playing is a teenager as well, and she's going through some normal things that teenage girls go through too, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think that as a teenager, I mean, the pressures these days, and there's a lot of issues going on, and I can definitely relate to what it feels like to be just overwhelmed by everything. I mean, I can definitely relate to that, and I think that kids will be able to really relate to that in the movie, just of how the pressure gets to you sometimes. I mean, it's crazy.
You have extra pressure on you as well because of your family legacy. You know, you're always going to be compared to your incredibly successful aunt and your successful dad. Do you see that as a plus or a minus or a combination of both, Emma?
I mean, I really admire my aunt. I love all of her movies, so it's amazing that I'm related to her. But to me, she's just my aunt, and I don't really think of it as being in her shadow or anything like people say.
But you grew up with her set, so you have that influence.
I did. I loved going to set. My mom would have to drag me off set. I would be like, "No, I want to stay till they're done. I love it."
Do they give you pointers? Do they say, "Hey, you should have done this scene like this, or maybe try that"? Do you ask them, or do you do your own thing?
We don't even really talk about that kind of stuff. I visit her on set all the time, but we never sit down and talk about acting, as everyone seems to think that's all we talk about. But I mean, between just having family time together and playing with her kids, we don't really talk about work.
Cool.
So what's next for you? What's your next project we can be looking for?
I just wrapped Scream 4, which was which was just the most amazing experience, the most surreal thing. If you had told me I would be in that movie, I never would have believed you, and I was so excited because I wanted to do a horror movie so bad. And Scream's one of my favorites, so to be a part of that's amazing. It comes out next year.
Are you a natural screamer? Did you have to get a coach for that?
Everyone had a screaming moment, and we had some pretty fun ones. So it was good.
I look forward to that.
Emma,
love horror movies.
Thank you so much.
Good luck with everything.
All the best.
All right, It's Kind of a Funny Story opens today in theaters nationwide.
Up next, games you'll definitely want to add to the menu before you have your next dinner party. Right after this.
I love this song.